one of the things that I seen a politician recently say that I do agree with it. Trump, he obviously breathes and lives off of hatred and not being inclusive for everybody. So it's like a lot of times, if in America, if you don't love it, then leave it. This politician says, no, if you love it, make it better. You know, to me, at the end of the day, it's just an easy way out.
You be my queen, you be my skin saver. I be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. You be my queen, you be my screen saver. I be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. Sun kiss your body, glitter, glitter.
Do you think people who want to repatriate back to Africa, or any, like whether it's Gambia or any part of Africa, do you think those who want to go back to Africa are taking the easy way out? And how would you respond to that if someone said that to you?
Man, hell no. How as a black person that was, if you believe totally in the story that you was a slave from Africa and you was somehow manipulated, sold, or put on this boat and you was brought over here, how could it ever be a cowardly thing for you to want to define where you come from? Like, my last name is not an African name. It's not even from the indigenous people from here, because I'm more or less like, I found out my lineage here on this landmass, you know, being an Olmec Dominican Seminole, my nationality, you know, and
your last name is a white name.
Yeah, it's a white colonial name, and I know the town where my parents come from. This part of the town, white people live great. This part of town, they suffering. They happy to get a 50-pound bag of rice and eat butter beans and fried pork chops every day.
I honestly believe, you know, I hate to say it, but I will say it. I think it's ignorance. And I think that there is a certain level of not really wanting to know, you know, your true authentic self, because I hear so many people say, well, I don't know anybody from Africa. You know, my family all lives here in the States, and it's kind of where your story began. And I always tell people, if you don't know where you came from, how will you know where you're going? And so that baffles me a little bit. Why would you not want to go back to Africa? Because Africa's a beautiful country. The beaches, the building, the people, the culture. Why would you not want to go and visit something that's authentic and pure, you know?
All right, so if you can go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
What's up, everybody? I'm King Anubis, Fayetteville, North Carolina. My sister on the other side of the camera.
All right, so we're going to get right into it. So the first question, is repatriation back to Africa taking the easy way out?
I don't think it's the easy way out or cowardly or none of that, because at one point the whole Pangea was as one. So from what I understand, right now where I'm sitting at is actually a part of Morocco. You know what I mean? So, I mean, people gonna have their feelings. I mean, I want to go, I want to visit, but I can't say I want to run over there and live because I ain't never been there before. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on over here. I might be lost over there. I'm not sure. I would like to go, but you know what I mean? I mean, that's about it. And as far as, you know, some people just can't get over there. You know what I mean? If your record messed up or something like that, they make it hell for you to leave America. So that's why a lot of black people don't never get to see the motherland. Some of them don't even realize the importance of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm embarrassed to say that around the time Belly came out, I couldn't figure out why Nas wanted to go to Africa. Like all these places, why this dude talking about he want to go to Africa? You know what I'm saying? Now I realize that's some of the dumbest shit I ever said in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I was ignorant. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't want to go, besides the fact that there's a lot of brainwashed Americans over here. You know what I mean? It's like the knowledge they taught over here, it don't give no praise to Africa or their own self.
Okay, so I don't I don't necessarily agree with the adage that repatriation back to Africa is either the easy way out or cowardly. I would say more so it's the intelligent way out. And repatriation is not something that happens automatic. I would never ask or request of any group of people, anybody in particular, to just pack up from the place where they're used to being for so long and just go to a whole nother country, go to a whole nother place that they've never been. I would say prior to repatriating back to your homeland, your original land, the original place where you come from, according to one's heritage, I'd say the best thing to do would just be to do some research. Talk to the people who've been there. Talk to the people who have lived there longer than 3 months, maybe 6 months, and just get familiar with the culture and the history before you make that decision.
A while ago, we had a conversation about, I was saying how I felt a lot, not all, because Africa isn't for all Black people in the diaspora. So I was, pretty much just saying how I feel like a lot of Blacks should go back to their roots and move back to Africa. Mm-hmm. And I know you mentioned that repatriation back to Africa can be taken the easy way out. So can you elaborate upon why you say that?
Well, so yeah, we had a really in-depth conversation about that, and when you say go back to Africa, it almost makes it seem like you're saying go back to a city, like go back to Manhattan, or go back to Miami, or go back to LA, or go back to Dallas, Texas. When you talk about Africa, you're talking about a whole continent, So when you talk about a continent, like I was saying before, there's hundreds of different countries in Africa that have a lot of different dialects, languages. They speak, like I said, a lot of languages. They have different currency. They have different culture. So where are we supposed to really go? Who delegates what Black person should go to what country? Should a Black person from North Carolina go to Nigeria, and a person from California go to, I don't know, Johannesburg in South Africa? Like, where do we really go? There's no real direction to even how to make that feasible. So to me, it's not even realistic on its face, personally, because like I said, we have a lot of religions, culture differences, currency, languages. We're American at this point. We have generations of family members that have been in America. This is all we really know. And one of the things that I seen a politician recently say that I do agree with it. Trump, he obviously breathes and lives off of hatred and not being inclusive for everybody. So it's like a lot of times, if in America, if you don't love it, then leave it. This politician says, no, if you love it, make it better. To me, at the end of the day, it's just an easy way out. Is America the perfect country? No, but it has a lot of great things about it. And if we live up to the ideals of everybody should have respect, equality, and just love your brother like you would love anybody else, I feel like we can make that here. And I feel like a lot of ways we do. I don't just think that going to Africa, like I said, where it's a million different things, to where are you going to go, who delegates it. We can't even agree on what to eat, as family members or friends, what movie to watch, or what restaurant to eat in. We think we're going to be able to agree on what country in Africa and language to pick up? I don't think so.
So just a follow-up question to the example that you gave, a person from California decides to go to Johannesburg, South Africa. If they decide to do that, then how would that be taking the easy way out if that's something they decide to do?
If they want to go to Africa, then they go to Africa. I think maybe if someone really felt compelled to want to go, then maybe they can look up their ancestry history and see where their actual roots is, and see where their roots is, where their family, and what part of Africa their roots are actually from. And so maybe that's a way for anybody that actually chooses to go there can kind of feel more rooted to home. Because if your ancestry is, like I said, in Nigeria, and somebody's choosing for you to go somewhere else in Africa, how much sense does that really make? Just because this is the sense of you going back to Africa. And like I said, Africa is a different world to us, but it also has its own, there's no perfect place. You know what I'm saying? It's like thinking the grass is greener at a different job. yeah, you have your issues at this one job, and another job might sound enticing or good, but it's still going to have its issues when you get there, and you're still going to have to deal with those certain type of issues. It's not going to be just tranquility and peace and love. There's going to be issues, you know, just because it's more black people doesn't make it different in that way.
If you can introduce yourself to the people who don't know you, where you're from, and just anything interesting about yourself.
Okay. My name is Jerron. I have a YouTube channel called TheMandinka Mr. Mosley. I currently reside here in the Gambia. I've been living here for about right around 8 months or so, and I moved here with my wife and my mother as well. Originally from California, Compton in particular, Los Angeles County. And for me, I mean, I've worked in law enforcement for 14 years, and seeing everything, many traumatic incidences, as a youth and even as an adult, and just seeing things that are happening to my people in the U.S. historically, even within my own family, I just wanted to kind of get off that roller coaster. I just wanted to get off the ride, and a lot of different things that I've been seeing kind of going on didn't tell me that anything was going to get better for Africans in America, right? And I know that you had brought up earlier that there is almost sort of like a division of the minds and the experience of people that want to remain in the diaspora. I on my platform, I'm not really telling any adult or grown person what they should and shouldn't do. What tends to work for me may not work for someone else. I just didn't have another 500 years to sit and fight and get empty promises. I think, just in my opinion, I think it's a losing battle to keep thinking that if we vote a specific way, if we put this certain person in power in the States, all these changes are going to happen. Now, I don't know on your channel or whatever, but I tend to be a little bit vocal about certain things, and some folks,
yeah.
Okay. I mean, we had a black president at one time. I mean, go ahead and, yeah, everybody's happy and celebrating. But nothing changed for African Americans. But every other group, every newly fabricated minority ended up getting more rights.
Yep.
And executive orders of protection, whereas African Americans received nothing. So that was a big slap in the face, because you see someone in front of you thinking that, oh wow, things are going to change, because you see someone that looks like you.
Exactly.
You think things are going to happen, and it didn't. In the States, you have I don't know what she wants to be, one day of the week. You're the first Asian American when it benefits you, and then when it's black, something wrong, you don't want to deal with that. But you have a woman that appears or presents to look African of some sort, and nothing has happened, really, for African Americans since she's been in office. So those are things that I have seen repeatedly, and I really don't have a lot of time. You see things that are going on in the West. You see they're making things that are considered abnormal at one point, or things that were not socially acceptable. They're now making it something acceptable, and it's forced down your throat. But nobody's forcing black agendas down nobody's throat, right? And I just really got tired of seeing other people and other cultures advance over African Americans off of the work and the backs that African Americans put into it. And again, my personal views and experiences are not reflective of, the Mandinka family. That's just who I am. I have my own mindset. I believe in courage over conformity.